Alright, today I'm going to show you guys how to disassemble an ignition module in the 96 to 2000 Honda Civics. It's pretty simple if you got the right tools. Let me see. This is what I'll be using. It's an air-powered jackhammer, handheld jackhammer, with just a tip on it, just the regular ordinary ones that come with the kit. It's actually a Husky brand. So what I'm going to do is, I'll show you here in a second, the bolts on top of the actual ignition module they're cut bolts basically from the manufacturer. They'll have a machine that has the stem on the bolt, and it'll screw the bolt in, and then once it's done tightening, it'll cut it off. So there's no way to stick a wrench or a Hex-Head sock, anything in there to take the bolt out. So what you have to do is you have to either hit it with a screwdriver at an angle to back it out, or the easier way is I use this little handheld jackhammer. So I'll be showing you that here in a minute. Okay, so now what you're looking at, if you look right here, this is the ignition module, control module. You know where the key goes right there. Well, these are the bolts I was telling you about. They're cutoff bolts, so there's no way to get them out. But as you can see over here, I went ahead and already started to back that one out. So basically what you do is, I'll show you here in a second, is you just put your little handheld jackhammer, or just a regular screwdriver with a mallet or something, and hit it at an angle. You can see it's all beat up from me hitting it with the jackhammer. So I don't know how I'm going to do this, hold a flashlight and use the jackhammer, but we'll see what we can do. Alright, so I promised you I'd show you how to get these cut bolts off. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your either screwdriver with a hammer, or like I like to use, the jackhammer, and you're just going to hit it at an angle just like this, and just keep hitting it. See, it's loose already. You want to hit it at an angle, that's it. Just like that until it gets loose enough where you can take it off with your finger. And you can see it's coming right out. So that's pretty much what you got to do for both of them. Once you get it out, same procedure as taking the ignition coil control out, is same thing as putting it back in. So it's just the opposite. So these are the bolts I was telling you about. They're just, you can't possibly get them out. They're just a regular cut bolt. So it comes from the manufacturer like that. They cut them and then they don't want you taking it back out. And then what you do after you get these bolts out is, I got another set of bolts right here. Let's see. This is what I got going on for the new one. Get that light on there. The light. These are just regular hex bolts I got down at Babe's Ace. You can use an Allen wrench, and I put some washers because obviously the bolt was too long. Couldn't find one quite as short as the one. So just go ahead and put a lock washer on there, and about 4 washers, and tighten it down. And you can, the light. Then you can pretty much swap them out, and then take them off easy the next time if you have to. Okay, so here's what we're looking at. Went ahead and removed it. As you can see, it's just the top part, and the bolt come right out. Now, if you look right here, this is the module that I just took out. You can see it's hanging down from the steering wheel. Here's the steering wheel. I don't have a cover right now. It's a EP3 steering wheel. I'll make a little carbon fiber one, but so the module's out, and underneath here, the steering column, you can see where the main wire goes from the control module. It goes down into there. There's a little zip tie you got to break off, and then it goes all the way underneath here. If you can see back there, let's see where this light is. Alright, you see those black coated wires that the light's on? They just wrap around by the fuse box, and you just follow them down. You unplug them, and then you just basically plug in the new one, run it down through the, the steering column and then plug it in and then hook it back up. If you look under here on the steering wheel, you can see this is the steering wheel column right here. Goes straight down. Let me give you a better view. Okay, here's the steering wheel, and then you look underneath the steering wheel and the column. If you see right, let me get this thing right here, that hole. Well, if you look right here on the control module that's hanging down, it has a little tooth right there. Well, that little tooth is what locks your steering wheel. So you have to basically line that up. It's not too hard. Make sure it goes in that hole, and go ahead and bolt the top on, and you're done. Simple as that. So I didn't show the part of me taking off the plastic around the steering wheel, but there's just four screws, 4 Phillips screws underneath the steering wheel. You just take out, and then the top and bottom of the plastic cover on the steering column just come apart. So it's real simple. Okay, once you got your ignition in, and I'll show you what I was talking about. Here's the hex bolts I was telling you about that I installed. Let's see, try not to get the light directly on it, it's blinding. But there's the hex bolts I was telling you about with the lock washer and a few extra washers. Came out real nice. Doesn't stick up too high, so the top plastic steering column cover won't hit it or nothing. If you look, what you want to do is that lock, what you're going to do is leave the key out of the ignition, and you're going to want to turn your steering wheel to make sure that that key lock, the steering column lock, lined up with that hole properly. I tried it, tested before I tightened it down completely, but that's what you're going to want to do. So you're going to turn your steering wheel without a key in it, and when it locks, as you can see, it's locked. So that means that everything's in there. You just want to make sure that your steering column's super tight, and when you push down, it ain't going to be turning back and forth. So I'm locked in. Then what I would do is put the key back in, pull the steering wheel down, give it a turn, and we're all good. So just wanted to show you the last thing you want to do to testing it out. Hope you guys enjoyed my video. Like I said, please subscribe.